Peace and power. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Nelson with B1 Tarot and Astrology coming to you with another card of the day video. Just want to make a quick disclaimer like I always do. I do use the Prisma Visions Tarot deck and not the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, so the imagery is going to be different. However, all meanings, interpretations, card structure, and everything is going to be the same. That being said, today we have on the table the Knight of Chalices, or Knight of Cups, depending on however you want to say it. And before we get into the Knight of Cups itself too heavily, or Knight of Chalices itself, let's go ahead and talk about the Chalices or Cups suit, because as a matter of fact, this is the first Chalice card that we have had so far on Card of the Day. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the Cups suit. Now, with this, the element we're going to be dealing with is going to be water. And then the way that that translates to us, how that is represented in our lives, is going to be emotion. This is going to be all about feelings. This is going to be everything of the heart, love, all of those types of things. All of the feels. This is going to be water sign energy. Shout out to the Pisces gang. Also Cancers and Scorpios. This is our energy when we're dealing with the Cups suit. Now, yes, I am a Pisces. You're welcome. But yeah, so looking at the imagery on the Knight of Chalices, we see a grown figure. Looks like about a grown man. Upper, like with knights, we're usually going to be dealing with mid to upper 20s up to I want to say somewhere around 35, 40 is going to be the ceiling around there. Yeah, so usually upper adult to middle age, like to starting of middle age area, or right before it is going to be the age group that we're thinking about with this energy. And we see them riding on what looks like a huge wave, or a huge like river that's just moving through the sky. It's not a natural river or anything like that. It's just cutting through the sky, and it looks like leaves, and it's very bright blue energy. So I'm figuring this is the representation that is for the emotional energy in the Prisma Visions Chalices illustrations, as opposed to the actual literal water that they put in some of the cards. And so we see them riding high above actual body of water, and it seems like they're just having a great time. You know, they've got their chalice in hand, swinging it through the air, and we see some sort of monster. We don't necessarily know that this is a bad force or a good force, but since it is a monster in the water, I'm sure it's safe to assume that this is something to avoid or whatever. So they're just gracefully floating through the air over whatever may come, but it doesn't really matter because they feel confident, they're sure. So yeah, that's going to be the imagery for the Knight of Chalices. Now let's go ahead and get into upright meanings with this. We are dealing with love, of course, because we're dealing with the court card and we're dealing with the Chalices or Cups suit. So, we're going to be dealing with very high emotion. This can a lot of times be love. This is going to be a whole lot of feminine energy, love energy, really balanced, nurturing, caring, considerate energy. This is someone who is so very in tune with their emotions, moving forward, as we see depicted here. Like this is someone bringing a lot of emotion to another person. This is potentially a new love interest that is serious, someone who knows what they want and what they're going after. The energy of someone who's very charming, someone who's very artistic. We are thinking of someone who is just able to kind of, I guess, have different areas of a romantic repertoire that they can reach into. So they're really good with feelings. They're really creative. They're also really charming. All these things that point towards someone who has a draw romantically for a lot of people. So, or just, that type of energy, not necessarily that is the person, but they could also be a person who, has that type of energy. So that's the types of things that we're dealing with whenever we're dealing with the Knight of Chalices. This is someone who is very tactful, graceful, as I was implying by seeing the knight riding through the air, just swirling the cup through the air, the chalice through the air, and just having not a single care. They're just like, yeah, we're flying right on along here and headed toward our goal, headed toward our love. So yeah, it's grace, it's tact, it is, composure and being able to keep you cool under pressure, because that's another thing that we tend to find attractive is somebody who can keep their cool under pressure, somebody who can keep their wits about themselves. Diplomacy is key whenever we're talking about someone with the Knight of Chalices energy, someone who is able to understand and empathize, be compassionate, so yeah. And if we were to take this energy and reverse it, then we are basically taking all of that strong emotion. This isn't the emotion, or the intensity or height of it isn't going anywhere. We're just applying it in the opposite direction. So this is very strong emotion, but this is someone who maybe doesn't necessarily know how to handle it very well. This can, again, we've had this come up a time or two, lead to tantrums potentially. Someone who is very childish because you're just, highly emotional, so it can somewhat become like an emotional volatility, but not so much just outwardly, just like more emotional turmoil is more internal. This would be someone who is vain, for sure, because we are dealing with romantic energy. So this is going to be Venusian energy, and that means that it's going to deal with looks, the degree of attractiveness that someone finds in the looks and things like that. So, you're going to have somebody handling that very poorly, which can be vanity. Someone who's just so in love with themselves and their looks. We see it all the time. And, I want to say, I don't feel like anything else is sitting on my spirit, so I will go ahead and call that the end point for this one. I believe that is all I have on the Knight of Chalices for today. I thank you so much, anyone who has watched all the way to this point with me. If you liked the video, appreciated anything about it, learned from it, please go ahead and like, subscribe, leave a comment, share, do all of the beautiful and lovely things to support the channel. And if you would like to book a reading, my website, of course, is all through the video and in the description. New Year's bundle still going on until January 7th. Go check that out. All things being considered, this has been Nelson with V1 Tarot and Astrology. I hope that you all continue to have a beautiful and blessed day. Peace and power.